Hey guys, today's video is going to be an update of sorts to my coaching methodology, I guess you could say. Um, I've run into two specifically issues in the recent past, pretty common within my coaching sessions, and also things that I'm experiencing personally in my games. Yeah, that feel like they're not addressed by the way that I currently coach, and I'm looking to kind of shift the direction a little bit, keep doing what I'm already doing, but adding a few things on there as well. And the two problems are as follows. Number one is I'm learning this lesson, but whenever I try this item build or try this way to play the game, my teammates report me for farming too much or for ruining their game, etc. And the other problem is, hey, I try to implement this and my teammates don't understand what I'm doing, or I want to take the Tormentor and they never show up anyways. They don't understand like what I'm trying to do, and it doesn't work because I can't apply it in my games. And so I'd say that the first example, the more toxic version, is more common the higher MMR you go. And I'd say that the, teammates not understanding what I'm trying to do is more common the lower MMR you go. And it sucks, honestly, to think I can't teach you guys laning mechanics, for instance, because you're 1k MMR and I'm teaching you the importance of pulling the large camp, and your offlaner has no idea what to do with it, so you can't practice it anyways. Like, literally can't learn that mechanic yet. And I've always historically thought that, like, part of being in solo queue, the benefit of it is to learn to adjust to all these situations. But because your teammate just does a bunch of random stuff and you don't know who you're playing with. But what I've actually come to, like, I've shifted my perspective on this rather drastically, is that if I'm trying to teach you guys something that I think I can teach you, even if you're, lower in the MMRs, it sucks that you, like, can't apply it for some time. Like, you can do it, but you can't use it. So what I'm basically getting at is that I do a lot of individual coaching, and I've never really advertised or attempted a format or structure for group coaching. So before I get into the nitty gritty, I'd love if you guys listen to what else I have to say. But if you're at all interested in paid or unpaid, but mainly paid group coaching, of sorts, we're thinking about like duo coaching or like 5-man stack coaching, that kind of stuff. If you're at all interested in that, I'm putting a link in the description below for a Google form that just gathers some information. Email so we can contact you, your MMR, your role, what your general availability would be, because we have to like coordinate people and maybe make like a set time for the class or like the coaching session. And I'm basically reaching out to hear if there's people that are interested in this. This is what this is. I'm sensing this problem. I feel like this is a limitation of coaching and maybe just a limitation of the Dota experience as a whole. I'd love to try to do something about it. And I'm curious if there's people out there that have that struggle and would be interested in working with me on something like this. So, greatly appreciate anyone who decides to do that. No pressure if you don't. But I'd also like to highlight a change in perspective that I've had in regards to solo queuing versus party queuing. Where my obviously this is tough if you're over 8,500 MMR, it doesn't really work because you're in Immortal Draft. But for the majority of the Dota 2 community, in the past, I always thought, like, when you're in a group, you're learning teamwork. When you're playing solo, you're learning individual skill-based stuff. And I actually think this is a false extreme. Like, this is actually an extreme point of view, in my opinion. This is literally how I've always thought. So, like, I hope this is a sign of personal growth, or, I don't know, perspective shift or something. But my thought is that when you see a professional Dota 2 team, if you see, like, the behind-the-scenes comms, what I truly think it means to be a good team is actually to not really have to say very much because you're all on the same page, but you get there in the first place because you are 5 individuals who know how to do their own job within the game. They know their role in the game. They know what they're responsible for. And the minimum amount of communication that's required is really just how your role in the game interacts with your teammate. And there's a lot you can say with few words. And I think it is a truly underrated art of how to be a good teammate. I never got taught it when I was playing in my professional career, and I think there were a lot of shortcomings of my own ability to be a teammate. of which that, I know if I could do it over with my knowledge now, I think I would do a much better job. But my point is that I actually think the optimal way to coach that as far as I know, has not been done, is to give people a team environment, not necessarily of people, the same people that you're always working with, but a team environment that's underneath a same vision of how Dota needs to be played. Meaning, what are the crucial objectives? What are you trying to accomplish in the laning phase? How do you want to approach the mid game at a macro scale? This type of stuff. Not so that you guys all have perfect coordination, but it's so that when you try to pull the big camp or you drag creeps or you're farming as a support in the mid game, that your teammates understand what you're trying to do and allow you to do this. Whether that's because they at least know you're trying to apply something, or that and they know what you're applying, or that they at least assume a good intention from you that you are trying to learn, so you're not getting flamed for simply doing something they don't understand or they're not familiar with or they don't like. And so rather than trying to create these cohesive team units and making, giving you guys the best friends to play with and all that kind of stuff, that's an option. But my vision for this is actually to have groups of 5 where I say, hey, you guys go play a game together, with the idea that your purpose of playing this game together is to see how you would generally communicate in a pub. These aren't meant to be people that you know really well, and you adjust to their playstyle over time. It's meant to simulate solo queue with the idea of people having a unified vision, because they then come to a coaching session with me where I would say something like, okay, we're going to look at each one of you individually as the game goes on, but it's really important that everybody else hears it, so that you know what I'm telling each other. I'm telling your 5 position he needs to farm more. So when you see him TP to farm, even if it's not correct, that he's trying to get better, and I'll help him in the future with that as well, right? So I don't know how good of a job I'm doing painting the picture of what I'm trying to accomplish, but I guess I have a lot of hypotheticals of the directions that this could go. But I guess I have this painting in my head of the way that people could be coached to learn how to maximize their individual contribution to the game and able to have the most effective effort to reward, time to reward ratio of the environment in which you're practicing this, right? I also think it's really difficult to learn how to communicate properly when the majority, not the majority, but at least a sizable portion of the people that you're communicating with aren't exactly communicating back or healthily communicating back or on the same page as you. It's really difficult, I think. So I hope this is an avenue that we can use to really accelerate people's growth, make it more enjoyable in the meantime, and also really put a new spin on Dota 2 coaching. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, once again, there's going to be a link in the description for a Google Doc form for you guys to fill out. A lot of this video is me spitballing ideas that I'm having to address a problem I'm seeing. And the problem being that when I coach people and when we're playing Dota and we're trying to improve, whether you're getting coached by me or you're actually just watching my videos or any other Dota 2 content creator videos, that one, your teammates will sometimes flame you for what you're trying to do, whether you're learning a new hero or a new skill or a new mechanic. And 2, that your teammates won't understand what you're trying to do, and then they will basically nullify it because they're not making use of it in any way because they don't understand the why behind what you're trying to accomplish. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from you guys. Also, feel free to let me know in the comments, but the most impactful way that we can get feedback from you would be if you are interested in something like this and to fill out the form in the description. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really do look forward to whatever we can accomplish with this. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to look like, but honestly, it's an uncertain future that I'm really excited about. So thanks. See you guys later.